When we were dating, ancient history, we would come out to Loudoun County for auctions. We discovered Waterford at that point, and we had just come back from England and noticed how similar the open space around the village matched what we saw in England.
We didn't really know anything about Waterford when we arrived. We were more focused on our own house, which had never been restored. It's an 18th century farmhouse that had not been restored. So we got interested in the history of the area, principally through the house, and then Waterford was dessert.
A woman from California wrote and said her grandfather or grandmother had lived in Waterford. They were Quakers. She had a quilt made from the wedding dress. Would we be interested? In fact, she addressed the letter to Waterford Chamber of Commerce. Called her up, and she eventually visited and gave us the quilt and gave us a commonplace book on which we based To Talk Is Treason.
It was a compelling story because it included a great deal of material written in and about Waterford during the Civil War by people who were living here at the time. And it was very vivid, and we decided it needed to be a book. And if it's going to be a book, it might be sold at the Waterford Fair. The Waterford Fair was only 2 months away. So we scrambled and produced a book.
Kathy Ratcliffe in the village, a quilter in the village, was fascinated with this, and she studied every little square in the quilt when she also studied a quilt at the Loudoun Museum and found one square that did match, indicating the women had traded pieces, sewed together, all of that. The gold background fabric, I believe, is the wedding dress fabric. It was for the wedding of Emma Schooley to John B. Dutton, and then her daughter, Mary Frances Dutton Steer, wore it the second time. This book came about as a result of a grant from the Virginia Foundation for the Humanities and Public Policy in the early 1990s. The picture is an amazing picture of the congregation of John Wesley Church, which has now been restored. The Black community had been 25% of the population from about 1820 to 1940 or 50.
After 15 years or so, or more, in Waterford and learning more and more about the history, we realized that we had much more than we had so far been able to write down. And the most interesting episode of Waterford's history was the Civil War period. Having done our first book in 2 months, this one took the better part of a decade. And it's quite a detailed, almost a day-by-day history of the Civil War in this part of Loudoun County, and particularly in Waterford.